70 times 7. Now, the legalists would say that would be 490 forgiveness, and then we're done. We've done what we're supposed to do. But that's not what Jesus meant. He meant do it all the time. Just think of what forgiveness is. Jesus was scourged, whipped, beaten, required to carry his own cross to his crucifixion, and then not tied but nailed to that cross. And then, what did he say? Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. A final example given to us by Jesus Christ in the last moments of his life. And we are being mandated to live a life of forgiveness, patterning ourselves after God's unqualified forgiveness, which he showed upon the cross. As I said, forgiveness is a difficult concept to grasp. Between you and me, it's a more difficult practice to make within our lives. The Mayo Clinic did a study of people who were forgiving and unforgiving, and that they found that in holding grudges and bitterness resulted in long-time health problems. And forgiveness, on the other hand, that was practiced without qualification in the individuals they studied, promoted lower blood pressure, lower heart rate, lower risk of alcoholic and substance abuse, far less depression, a reduction of chronic pain. They were healthier in their relationships, more friendships. They had greater religious dedication, and they had improved psychological well-being, including their emotions. Now that's quite a list. It's impressive. And forgiveness can be that powerful if we practice it within our lives. It is so hard to make it a part of the way in which we live. Yet Jesus was very clear this is the Christian way. Now, when the Civil War ended, a group of people gathered outside the White House, and President Lincoln came out to say a few words to the crowd. It was a great time of celebration. The Army Band was there. The President talked briefly, not about Lincoln, but about the horrors of war. And if you've read anything about Abraham Lincoln, you also joke a little because he had a keen sense of humor. The people were absolutely delighted that they had won the war. Lincoln also talked about how important it was to get back together and heal the nation's wounds, the South and the North coming together. Let brothers and sisters, he said, join each other once again. And then he said, and I quote, "In a few moments I want the band to play, and I am going to tell them what to play." Now the crowd thought that it would be the Battle Hymn of the Republic, which was kind of the calling of the North during the Civil War. It became their theme song. But Lincoln said, very thoughtfully, "I wonder if we, in winning the war, have the right not to play the music again, if it's appropriate." And that should have been a clue to what he was going to say. And so then he turned to the band and said, "Now I want you to play in the land of Dixie." The band almost dropped their instruments, because that was the song of the South. They stood there. The crowd dropped their mouths wide open, and they looked at one another. The band did not have the music for Dixie, and they hadn't played Dixie since the Civil War began. But finally, after a long pause, the band finally got up together, and they played Dixie. There was not a dry eye in the crowd. That is a sterling example of forgiveness. We are to continue to forgive. Not 7 times. Not even 70 times 7. But every single waking moment of our life, when we forgive, you know what happens? We play music we never thought we could play. We sing songs we never thought we could sing. To forgive is one of the greatest distinguishing marks of the church. And also should be the greatest distinguishing mark